Hey guys, so I had to get up early to go to an event with Ryan, but I wanted to do a fast and simple look using my Grande Pro. The first one I created was a little bit more time consuming. This is just fast and easy. I really like how it turned out, and I hope you do too. Alright, let's get this started. In this video, I'm also comparing the Editorial Brights palette from Viseart with the shades that are most comparable in the Viseart Grande Pro 3. This was requested, so I figured I would go ahead and include some brush swatches of the most comparable shades. There are some colors in the Editorial Brights that don't have comparable shades in the Viseart Grande Pro 3. That being said, there are some very similar vibes because we're dealing with primary, secondary, and tertiary pure hues. So we've got some overlaps, but every single one of the shades do have subtle differences, even if they have similar vibes. So as always, my swatches are brush swatches, dry. I use a color switch to change between hues. It's over eyeshadow primer. This is the Viseart eyeshadow base, and in natural lighting. So hopefully all of those elements can help us see the true colors. I thought that the turquoise or cyan from the Editorial Brights palette was sort of in between these two colors from the Grande Pro 3, but the one from the Editorial Brights is a little more green leaning, whereas I think that the colors in the Grande Pro 3 that are closest are a bit more cobalt leaning, I would say. That makes sense. Hopefully you can see it here on camera. Some of the swatches here are a bit splashy. My apologies. Basically the primer, I didn't apply it very evenly or wait for it to kind of dry down a little bit. So that's what happens with matte shades. But you get the idea, right? So this purple doesn't have a comparable shade at all in the Grande Pro 3. But I figured I would swatch it. Also the white and the hot pink, nothing is like that in the Grande Pro 3. I'll just swatch those at the end for you. But this magenta type of color does have a very comparable shade. The Grande Pro 3 is definitely more magenta, whereas the one from the Editorial Brights is a bit more muted and berry. A little more red based, I would say. Now the red is definitely different from the two in the Grande Pro 3. The first red swatch is the Editorial Brights, the other two are the Grande Pro 3. The new red shades are a bit more true red and vibrant. We've got one that's slightly more orange leaning, we've got one that's slightly more blue leaning, and I think you can really see how they pop against the Editorial Brights red. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right into the tutorial. I'm going to prep my eyes using the Viseart eye base. Just smoothing that all around the eye completely. I'm going to start with this shade here. It's been calling my name. Oh, this is the Wayne Goss number 19 BT dubs. I don't have a whole lot of time to get ready, so I'm just going to do a simple look. This color reminds me of like the first MAC shadow I went for. It was like turquoise. I had like a purple shimmer, a turquoise, a stark white. I'm going to take a bit of this pale green, blend that through the edge here to soften that line. Okay, I'm going to go for this bright blue here and just pat this on the outer half. I'm going to take the light, start to blend out those edges. I'm going to take a bit of this brighter cyan and use that to blend this transition. Okay, I think for underneath, I'm going to first lay down a base of this pale blue. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the brighter cobalt. And feather that into the outer edge. Just a hint. I don't want to make it too dark. These shades are a little powdery, but I find them really easy to work with. I just get some fallout. Almost everything. I'm going to take the Esom S33, take a bit of this yellow, just starting out here. I'm going to blend this into the edges. Not too intensely. For foundation, I'm going to use the VOV Twinkle Diamond Foundation. Look how cute this packaging is. I love it. In the shade 1 Beige. Comes with this poof. I might as well try it at least while it's clean. But usually I'll just use a brush or something instead, because after a while, I don't trust it anymore. The cleanliness, that is. Oh, by the way, I put some mascara on my YSL Shock, and then my magnetic falsies, the Ardell Accent lashes, and then I used my Wonder Brow in my brows in 2 shades, the brown and the almost black shade, and I mixed those. This is sheer to medium, very lightweight. With my Shiseido tool, I'm going to take some Soft Matte Concealer in Vanilla from NARS and do my under eyes.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, he's got eye boogers.
Oh no.
Whenever I use that tool after I've already done my mascara, I get it on my lower lashes. Oh well, it blends it out beautifully though, my concealer. Okay, I'm going to set it all with my Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. To bring a little colors back into the cheek, I'm going to use my Rose Milk from M Cosmetics. I'm going to try it with this side of the brush. We'll see. It's a nice dense brush, and I'm still trying to figure out what it works best for me. I think that worked really nicely. And finally, I'm just going to put a little bit of my glitter highlighter. Alrighty, and for a lip, I was planning on wearing Anna. Still think that'd be kind of cute. Let's try it. Love it. Okay, so here was my super fast, simple look today. Okay guys, so that is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.